Glenn Dix has mounted his starting platform, and there is a half a minute to go. In the next row we have car number 2, Mike Harewood, Kevin Bartlett and Teddy Pillette, the Belgium, in car number 34. Things are all in readiness now for the start of 70 laps in this, the final round of the Rothmans 100 Tasman Championship. The majority of cars being Formula 5000, one or two 2-litre cars. Up comes the starter's flag. No way. David Hobbs getting a slight edge there as they left the start line and now go down towards the end of the straight for the first time round. Now Graham McRae in car number 22 looked as though he might have ducked straight into the lead there. We'll pick them up when they get a little bit nearer after they've wound their way around through the S's. But it looked as though Graham McRae, the present holder of the championship round, might have run straight down the side of the wall and ducked into the front and led the way into the first corner. Yes, there he is, Graham McRae in car number 22, shoving him in the lead in the first lap as they come onto the oval now, well over 100 miles an hour, and they approach to this corner. In second place is Frank Matic in car number 3. In third place, car number 10, David Hobbs. And the first of the local drivers is car number 25, John Walker, driving his Repco Holden. They have one lap behind them, with Graham McRae showing the drivers the way. Graham has already won sufficient events, sufficient rounds of the Tasman Championship to already have taken out the award. But nevertheless, we're still going to see a very great race with the top drivers, not only in Australia, but we have the top international drivers here competing for the first time ever in South Australia, here at the new circuit of the Adelaide International Raceway. Graham McRae in car 22 makes his second run around the oval now. Matic moving up a little bit closer. Only about 15 to 20 yards separate the first two drivers, then about 40 yards to car number 10. In fourth place is Mike Harewood, a motorcycle rider who attained 7 world championships prior to moving over to cars, and then was given a drive in the John Surtees camp. And Mike Harewood has been doing very well in cars. Whether he'll ever get 7 world championships in cars is hard to say, but it's a phenomenal record for a man, particularly as he's only 26 years of age, I believe, so he must have started riding his motorbikes at a pretty early run. Graham McRae coming onto the oval again, and his leader GMI. This is the Formula 5000 car, a V8 car. Frank Matic in a similar, same power, similar vehicle. Right behind now, only about 6 yards separating the first and second. David Hobbs still holding third from Mike Harewood, then quite a gap to the fourth man. Car number 12, Kevin Pillette. Sorry, Warwick Brown in McLaren 10B. This is a slight edge over the first City State car. And the first car in the pits now, one of our local drivers, John McCormick or Gary Cooper. Didn't quite grab it then, as we pick up the leaders again. Very little between them. Car 22, Graham McRae, holding a slight edge over Frank Matic in car number 3. They stretch out into the oval a little bit now when McRae gives it perhaps a wee bit larger footfall than does Frank Matic. Beautifully powered drift right around the oval, and they break away then down the straight. No slipstreaming done here as Matic pulls out now and goes around McRae.
Those first 4 cars have got about 100, 150 yards on the rest of them, perhaps even more.
Yes, they're certainly going to lap the field before half the race is over, Bob. 22's back there. There's Matic now, makes an approach, comes down a little bit wide, coming onto the adverse cambered corner into the oval, but McRae pulls away again. Maddich comes up again, almost within touching distance, tries to duck down underneath, but McRae's not giving any distance away on the inside of the track. And so they split off down the straight. Again, Maddich pulled out then, looked as though he was going to try and challenge Graham McRae. Didn't like the look of that puff and smoke then. Looked a rather nasty little puff, but it had come from the cement powder that had been put on the track. Graham McRae holding his lead. Being challenged all the time by Frank Maddich, though. It's not going to be an easy race for McRae. He's going to have pressure on him right throughout the 70 laps of this fourth and final round of the Tasman Championship Series. Maddich dropped back considerably after we saw a little puff of dust or smoke at the end of the straight. Whether he is experiencing any trouble or not, I don't know. Still in third place is David Hobbs, and Mike Hailwood in car number 3 is holding fourth. And a long gap back to Max Stewart in car number 6. And he's followed by Warwick Brown and Gary Campbell in the little 2-litre car, who's doing extremely well, staying up with the first quarter of the field.
I think the local that was out was Gary Cooper, Alan. Number 9 is John McCormick. He's still in the race. So number 8, the Elfin sports car driven by Gary Cooper, is the one in the pits.
Oh, thank you, Bob. Back into the oval again. My word, these cars come around quickly, don't they? A little bit different to the previous event, when they're doing lap speeds far less than half the time of the series production cars.
These 4 cars, the 4 leaders have got about half a lap on the 5th car.
And that's after what, about 10 laps, is it?
6, they've
6
just
laps.
gone through 6. McRae seems to get away faster, but he has to brake faster to go through those corners.
Yes. Robbie Frankovic now is the car right in front of them. McRae pulls out to go around the slower car now, and then takes a completely different line into the curve, caused by Frankovic's car that just seemed to be right in the spot where McRae and Maddich have both been putting their cars in their line-up for the corner.
Lap 14.
Not to worry, they move on now, come around through the S's. Almost hugging the ground as they come around. Probably 3 or 4 inches clearance under the nose of McRae's car. And it's the most magnificent looking vehicle. Now Maddich comes up very close, and he ducks underneath McRae now, draws level, in fact gets his nose just in front, and there's a car right in front. This is going to be very interesting. McRae had to brake. McRae had to brake, and Maddich moves into the lead now for the first time in car number 3. McRae perhaps balked by a slightly slower car then. May have been Colin Hyams in car 11, not quite sure on that till they come around next time, but he was slightly balked, and Maddich made no bones about taking every advantage of the slight hold up to McRae, and he shot into the lead in car number 3, a car of his own design, in which he found very well. Now we have McRae in car number 22 trailing Maddich for the first time. Onto the oval, and now it's Maddich's time to streak away. He has car number 25, John Walker, will be the first car that will come into his sights as he moves away from McRae now and builds up rather a comfortable lead in these top-notch cars. Frank Maddich about 30 to 40 yards in front of Graham McRae. Then in third place, Mike Hailwood has moved up past car number 10, David Hobbs, so that we already have 2 place changes in the first 4 cars. Car number 3, Frank Maddich holding the lead in his Repco Maddich A50. In second place, Graham McRae in car number 22, the leader GMI. In third place, we have Mike Hailwood in car number 2, the Surtees TS811. And then in fourth place, we have David Hobbs, who held third for so long in his McLaren M22.
Lap 25.
We'll pick up Maddich again now, back onto the oval. Another clear run at this stage. Nothing in front of him, perhaps 300 or 400 yards. And my gosh, he's got a good lead at this stage. Second man, Graham McRae, would be perhaps 300 or 400 yards behind Maddich at this stage, but Mike Hailwood's pushing very close. He challenges McRae now as they pull out to go past another car. There's David Hobbs' periscope going down there, the white periscope that is such a magnificent